in this session, let us see about the limits. So we'll see how to set the limits here, and remember, always the limits we have to set immediately after setting the units. In the last session we have set the units, so now we'll see how to set the limits. So before going to set the limits, first we'll see the purpose of limits. Now the limits are nothing but the size of the screen. Now here by default there will be some size for the screen, and we should not go the default size. We have to always set the size of the screen according to the requirement. According to the requirement means it depends again upon the drawing which we are creating. Based on the drawings we have to set here the limits. For example, if I am trying to create a rectangle of 1000 by 500, then in that rectangle the maximum dimension is 1000, so you can set the limits slightly greater than that maximum dimension value. That means here I can take 1100 by 1100 as the limits. Or if I am trying to create a rectangle of 2 by 3, then in that 2 by 3 the maximum dimension is 3, so you can take a value slightly greater than that maximum dimension. That means you can take 5, 5 as the limits. So now this is how we have to set the limits. Let me go with limits limits. I am typing here in the command prompt, then go with enter. Now it is asking about the lower left corner. The lower left corner I am taking always as 0, 0, and even you can read the default value here is 0, 0. I want to start with 0, 0, so let me go with enter. And now it is asking specify the upper right corner. It is asking about the upper right corner, and by default the upper right corner right now it is going with 420, 297. So at the upper right corner 420, 297 are nothing but the coordinate values. Now let me set the limits as 5, 5. The upper right I am going with 5, 5, then go with enter. Now the overall screen size will be 5, 5. That means it is going to start from 0, 0 and it will end exactly at 5, 5. So we have set the limits here, and after setting the limits, let me show you by drawing a circle. We will create a circle. Forget how I am creating this circle, you can leave that method, just you can watch the circle size. Now let me create here a circle of radius 2. I am going with a radius of 2, and look at the size. Actually here we have set the limits as 5, 5. So when the overall screen size is 5, 5, and if I draw a circle of radius 2, then that circle should be clearly visible. But here the size, if you see, it is very small. The reason is only setting the limits is not sufficient. Always after setting the limits we have to go with immediately one more command, and that is called zoom. So we have to go with zoom command every time after setting the limits, and for zoom there is a shortcut, that is Z. So you can go with Z. Let me go with Z here and enter. Z enter, then you will get again the sub options in this. Then to set the limits we have to go this first one called all. For this all, again I can use a shortcut, and in this first we have to see the capital letter. In the sub options, in all the capital letter is A, so let me use A as the shortcut to go with all. Now I am going with A here, then go with again enter. So we have set the limits, and after setting the limits I have gone with zoom all, that is Z enter, A enter. Now I will try to draw the same circle of radius 2, and now you can see the size of the circle, it is clearly visible, because whatever the limits we have given, those limits have been set after going with zoom all command. So these are the 3 commands which we have to follow every time whenever we are going with any new drawing. The first one is units, the second one is limits, and the third one is zoom all. So this is about setting of the screen and its units. Now we will see the first command here in this AutoCAD, that is line. So we'll see how to create the line, and after knowing about the line, then we'll start the first method of creating the objects. Let me go with once again Z enter, A enter, that is zoom all. Now to go with line command, you can use L as the shortcut. Let me go with L and go with enter. And now you can read here the command prompt. It is asking you to select this first point, pick the first point using the left button. So always creation of the objects and selection of the objects will be done using the left button of the mouse. So pick the first point, and after picking the first point you can pick the next point, and let me pick the next point here. And after picking the next point, if you want to end the line, simply you can go with escape key or enter key in the keyboard. Now let me go with escape. So it has end the line. So this is a line which is created between 2 points. Now once I will go with line, L enter, pick the first point, pick the second point, and I told that if you want to end the line here, either you can go with escape or even you can go with enter. Now this time I am going with enter, then also we are out of that line. Or let me go with once again line, L enter, pick the first point, pick the second point, and now if you want to end the line, simply you can right click, that is click the right button of the mouse, and from this pop-up menu, this is called pop-up, P-O-P-U-P. So from this pop-up menu you can choose either enter or cancel. Now let me go with enter, then also we can come out of that line command. So these are the 3 ways to exit from any command. One is you can go with escape, or you can go with enter, or you can go with right click and you can select either cancel or enter. So this is about the line creation between 2 points. And if you want to delete the existing one, just you can select that line using the left button and go with the delete key in the keyboard. That will be deleted. Now again I am going to line, L enter, and you can draw a number of lines at a time by picking the next points. Now let me pick the first point, that is asking the next point, pick the next point, then one more point you can pick here. So continuously you can pick the end points and you can create a number of lines like this. A number of lines you can create, and after creating, now if you want to close this, closing means if I want to connect this end point of the last line with the start point of the first line, simply you can go with close option which is given here in the bracket. So if you want to close it, you can go with close, and for this close you can see the shortcut, that is C, because the capital letter is C. Let me go with C, enter. Now that will be closed. So these are the number of lines which we have drawn, though we have drawn at a time, but still they are going to act as separate entities. So each and every line will act as separate entity. Right. Then once again we will go with line, L enter. Now let me draw 3 lines, and after drawing this line, now if I want to undo this operation, that means by mistake I have selected a wrong point, then you can go with a step back, and for that you can use undo option here. So go with U, because U is the capital letter, so go with U enter, it will move a step back. Once again you can go with U enter, again it is going to undo that operation. Again you can go with U enter, it will be undone. So like this you can go with always undo, undo and undo. So this is about a line command. And here already I think you have seen when I am going with L enter, and if I am trying to draw a line, I am getting the lines, and here I can draw the line at whatever angle I want. But if I want to draw the lines which are exactly horizontal or vertical, then I can take the help of an option here in the status bar called Ortho. We have an Ortho mode. By default it is in off mode. Now let me select it. Now Ortho is in on mode. After switching on the Ortho, you can create only the horizontal and vertical lines. That means you can create exactly orthogonal lines. Now we cannot go with any other angle except horizontal and vertical. So continuously you can draw number of lines by picking the end points. Only you are going to get horizontal and vertical lines when I switch on ortho. And once again, if I switch off the ortho, switching off also can be done by selecting the same option. Now let me select on the same ortho, and now you can see again we can create the line at whatever angle we want. Okay, so this is about ortho, to create orthogonal lines. Switch on and switch off, switch on and switch off. So this is about the line, and the same lines can be drawn even by going with line command, that is line tool from the draw toolbar. In this draw toolbar, the first tool is nothing but line. You can go to line, again you can continue in the same procedure, or even you can go to draw menu, and from the draw menu also you can select the line and you can create the lines. So these are the three ways to create the lines. And about the first method of creating the figures we will see in the next session.